I got my man LA Sunshine from the Treacherous 3 in the house.
Salute, LA Sunshine.
What's up, Kane? Peace to you, bro.
Peace to you, brother. Salute.
Well, it's a pleasure having y'all. This is our third week of Off School Grounds. I'm your host, Dennis McKeezy. One of the things that has been, very impressive is that I've watched so many of you in the past week on social media, and the things that you've been doing to show love and appreciation to your families is unreal. I'll start with Asia, Principal Johnson. Yo, I tell you, you ain't wasted no time. You wasted no time. Friday, you got on there and you showed love to your students in a way that I think was not only cute, but it was effective. Then right after that, then I saw Constance from South Carolina. She did her first one. I appreciate that. Marissa Forrester did hers. Like, it was so crazy to see so many people hit the social media platform these past couple of days. Raven asked you, she stay on there. Hey, Dr. Small.
Yo, listen, I had you on my head. So just like you shouting out the people who did it first, because I knew I was coming on this call, and I didn't want you to beat me in the head. First video today, like 3 o'clock.
Wow, that's a good look, man. Yo, so how was that, Malik? How was that?
It's good. I sent it to Smith so he can put it on IG. But I was like, I'm not getting on this call with you. Video done. It was my fun. Did it today.
No doubt. Well, it was great. I also this week got a chance to jump on an event with Principal Johnson. I got on something with Burnside earlier. Burnside, want to talk a little bit about what you did the other day with your kids?
My kids are just they are just as crazy as I am. So we got on. We just show love to each other, let them know how much I miss them. Definitely sharing some moments of mindfulness with them, but also just letting them know that, hey, I miss them dearly. Be safe, make smart choices, love your family. But then breaking the news to them about graduation and prom, that was not easy. So I told them, I said, hey, maybe I can get a DJ, maybe we can have some kind of virtual prom, virtual graduation, and that kind of eased some of the pain. But it was exciting to see them, see me. And then, we're going to make it something that we do every Monday at 7 o'clock. And then also invite parents as the next step in this process. And so it was really nice to see them.
Wow. It was great to be there, Burnside. It was great. Fulton, how are you? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What school are you at?
The Frederick Douglass Academy in Harlem.
There you go. Right across from Cake Man Raven.
Right.
How long you been there?
Right across from Dunbar.
This is year number 3.
Number 3. So,
I used to live right across the street.
So, one of the quick stories about that is, I guess you've heard of Dr. Lorraine Monroe, correct?
Of course.
All right. So I remember I was a school aide, not knowing what I wanted to do with my life. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was just working. And I was working at PS 180 in Harlem. And I went into the counselor's office, and there was a book. And the book was, you remember the title of her book? And you remember?
She got a couple.
Hold on, I'll show you.
Oh, you got it right there.
Oh, no question. Nothing's impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
This is the book that I read over 20 years ago that inspired me to get into education. I started off as a school aide, then I became a teacher in Harlem, a teacher in the Bronx, assistant principal, now doing this work. And I can tell you one thing. If you know anything, I see you, Eddie. If I could tell you one thing, if you know Dr. Lorraine Monroe, anything about her, you got to stay inspired.
No, of course.
You in really hollow ground over there at Frederick Douglass Academy.
Hold on.
I am. It's a dope place. The kids are great. I'm missing them right now, but we got to keep pushing through this storm.
One of the things that's really important for us to understand is that these times, it requires for a different type of leadership. The things that we did prior to today and prior to this school year, those things have to change. And I think one of the things that's really important for us to recognize is that we've been evolving for quite some time. But what's important for us to realize it's time to reinvent ourselves, because the things that we did and the things that we used in the past to be who we are today, those things aren't going to work in the future. You know, one of the things I keep asking myself is, if school started back tomorrow, what would the day look like for y'all? Anybody, tell me, what would it look like? I know first and foremost, everybody gonna run and hug up on the kids. But what does your leadership look like if it started tomorrow?
Because the fact that this type of resiliency, this is different than, and I'm sorry to compare it, this is different than a 9/11, this is different than Sandy, this is different than anything that we have ever seen. And the surmountable presence that I have to be for my families, because they're looking to hear from me. And when they don't see me or hear from me, it still creates that place and that void of devastation that they've already had. So I got to make sure that they know you're loved, you're wanted. Yes, we gonna learn, loves. Yes, I still have high expectations. Yes, teachers, we still gonna teach, but at the same time, we are gonna have this whole in the camaraderie together.
Well, Simone, let me tell you what's dope about what you just said, because that's basically what we talked about last week, about the importance of your presence and how just you letting people know that that you're still thinking about them and that you still love them is a very important part of why great leaders continue to lead in the midst of all the chaos that goes on. I have a guest in the building real quick. I'm just gonna show a quick clip so that you know who he is. He and I are gonna talk a little bit further about some of the things that's changed in his life as well, and how he's reinventing himself.
Right. Work hard, play hard. What we just did? Man, we just started something. What we just did, bro? We just started something.
Multi-platinum bad boy hitman record producer. Amadeus.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, man. Hey, Amadeus. Hey.
I'm looking for Amadeus the King. Black boy music, what up? You see what it is, baby? What's up, baby? Still waiting for y'all crazy.
Hello.
Money out here, it's a video? You know what I'm saying? It's a video. About me?
Yep, I'm in a meeting.
Oh, this is the king right here, all right? He's getting too much money. He's producing them hits.
Trey Songz, music director. He's worked with everybody from French Montana to
Bird
J-Lo,
Mansion,
50 Cent, to Chris Brown.
He's producing them hits.
The Young
a
Jeezy,
bird villa.
to Keisha Cole, to Wale.
I love it.
He's sports and ESPN.
Do you have affordable housing there?
Right, to BET, to MTV.
You know what time it is. We stay
What about the poor birds? Can they go there too? Okay, that's beautiful. You made that, Ivana?
Going from the BX, man.
Take a
Shout out
look.
to Mickey D's, so the living legend up here. Grandmaster Flash. Opportunity to meet the legend. Came to the Music 101 at Wix. So I had to stop to pay homage, man. Flash all day. Appreciate everything you brought to hip hop. You know what I mean? I'm here because he made it possible, you know? So shout out to Flash, man. One love, BX Boogie.
Every beat he sent me was always different, from this sound to that sound to this sound. So I appreciate Amadeus. Shout out to him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amadeus, you the best.
Yeah.
I know, I told him, I'm like, yo, during this interview, I'm just going to FaceTime you. He's like, you're crazy. Just finish the interview.
Yeah. He knows his presence is here.
What's up, Amadeus, what's up, brother? I couldn't make it, but I'm there in spirit.
The legend is in the house.
No. You're the legend. You're the legend.
Backstage in the office. King Amadeus.
My family, I love it so much.
nervous what we about to do, man. Bronx all day, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I have like at least 16 ready.
At least 16.
At least. Right now I'm here with the Bronx queen herself. Castle here. You know what it is.
You know what it is.
How you gonna just ride yourself so great? You already know. Family. Family, man.
It doesn't change.
So we up to something.
What are we in?
Y'all still good. I'm telling y'all now. Watch out.
You're about almost 20 years in.
I'm so good at that.
I want to introduce my brother, my close friend, Amadeus in the house. What's going on, Amadeus?
Man, peace and blessings, kings and queens. What's up?
You see how it's being done over here?
I love it, man. I love it. I feel like I'm on BET. I feel like I'm on CNN right now. You know what I mean? The black edition, the black excellence edition.
These are some real people here right here. These are
I love
real
it, man.
people you got in the room, Amadeus.
I love it.
Listen, so again, man, I thank you for taking your time to come and showing us love today. All day you on Instagram. All day, from sun up to sundown. I was watching you earlier. You and Redman was killing it.
Yo, man.
One of my heroes. What's going on, man? Talk to us a little bit.
I'm good, man. I'm just, you know, trying to adjust to everything that's happening, everything that's going on. Obviously, with the quarantine, you know, we're unable to go outside and do what we normally do. So I'm just trying to figure out ways that while we're in quarantine, that I could kind of still, you know, be a blessing to people and motivate them and inspire them through all that we're going through, man. And, you know, it's just me using the relationships that I've been blessed to create over the 19 years that I've been in the business to, you know, call upon those type of people and just to create moments. Like, you know, a lot of artists, I've had a lot of artists on and producers and songwriters, and, you know, just playing those songs that I know a lot of people's favorite records, and just to discuss how they came about and when it happened and how it happened. I think it's interesting for people to witness and to see, and then at the same time, you know, also get some inspiring words, you know, from them. Because a lot of people look at artists and entertainers and celebrities, you know, and think, you know, a lot of them ain't got no sense, man, or you know, or don't have relationships with God, and a lot of them do. So I'm just kind of bringing out that side and allowing people to see other sides to entertainers and celebrities and artists. You know.
So Amadeus, I'm gonna put you on hold for one quick second because I got a little surprise for you too, brother.
Okay.
I got a little surprise for you too. Hey, Lays, I'm gonna let you take it from here because we got another invited guest in the building. I'm gonna let you take it, Lays.
First of all, before I say anything, first and foremost, this man I consider my brother. I consider him a mentor. He is a part of my family. And I'm gonna bring him in. And I'm not gonna tell y'all who he is. I'm just gonna play a little bit of music so we know exactly what time it is.
Excuse me, take a few minutes to mellow out.
What?
My high school picture right now. I'm about to show my high school picture.
You know that goes.
What you know about this, youngin'?
Like, give him one more. Give him one more, Lays.
Kane, if you in the building, please be heard.
Yo.
What up, Big Daddy Kane? How you, man?
I'm great.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty good, dude.
Like I said, listen, off school grounds is a real positive thing, and listen, I felt it was important that we call an icon, my brother, my family. I want y'all to put your hands together for the greatest of all time, my brother, Big Daddy Kane, y'all.
Big Daddy Kane.
Yes.
Wow.
Much love, Lays. Much love, man.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna need you to spit some rhymes right now. Let's go.
No, the
Sir, it's an honor
biggest
to
fan of
have
Big
you.
Daddy Kane's is right here. Biggest fan ever.
Kane, thank
Ever.
you, Kane. Understand,
happening?
man. Lays and I've been talking about you for so long, man. I've known Lays, you know, it feels like forever. And all he talks about is the influence that you and MOP and the guys in your era made to this business. And one of the things that's really dope is that in 2020, Big Daddy Kane is still relevant. And so one of the things that we talking about in this room today is how important it is for us to reinvent ourselves. Because I know that there's people who go to Kane concerts now and they compare it to what it was then.
Me?
This Kane that we talk about here, he's still a dope Kane, but he a different Kane. You want to talk a little bit about how you've changed your style up a little bit and how you've reinvented the Big Daddy Kane that most of us grew up to?
Well, I mean, I'm a lot older now, so definitely a lot more mature. So, with that, the show, I try to, do it in a mature aspect, but then at the same time, still keep it very active and entertaining, and I think it works pretty well, and the people that come to support, they enjoy themselves. But I mean, just in a way of just keeping everything real entertaining, but mature, so we can party like grown folks,
I hear that.
I want to say that for me, and as a person who studies and appreciate live shows, and I know just because Kane is here, but I'm gonna say, and I said this to you before, Kane's live show was literally one of the best I've ever seen, and I've seen it for almost 30 years, and it's still one of the best live shows I've ever seen. I mean, just to be a fan of Kane's is a real thing to have in your life. I mean, I'll be a fan for life, even though I consider him a brother.
Hey, Kane, so most of the people in this room are principals of schools in New York, New Jersey, South Carolina, all over the place, man. And I just thought that it was important for me to create a platform where I could get them all together like this, just for one, to commune with one another, but also two, to kind of get a word of like encouragement that we know sometimes it get hard, man. We know everybody in here is going through it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not just principals. When you talk about what Big Daddy Kane was doing just a month ago and the tours that you had lined up and the tours that MOP had lined up and how life has come to a screeching halt for you, Amadeus can attest to it too. I just felt like I wanted to create something where, people like yourself just come through, man, and just inspire them to understand, like, we all going through this together. It ain't just educators that's going through it. It's all of us.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I definitely, pray for, all the teachers that's going through this, because I mean, speaking, for me personally, I mean, I had just received a role on Power Book and a role in 2 different movies, and then all of a sudden, everything just came to a halt. You know what I'm saying? But with that happening, that stopped income. Now with the teachers, with this happening, it stopped income, but it's also depriving our youth of an education. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel for them even stronger than, for entertainers, because those are the ones that's teaching the children,
Yeah, no doubt. And again, I'm always real specific in saying, because I think, Kane, that everybody speaks about the importance of a teacher. But I'm telling you is that these people in this room as principals, they put their lives on the line a couple of weeks ago, going back into the buildings with their staff to make sure that this remote learning thing gets kicked off for them. And I just don't think that we acknowledge that enough, that behind every great school is a great leader. And I'm blessed to know most of the people in this room and feel a connection. But I think in terms of feeling connection, we all feel a connection to you for various reasons. And I think that what you've done in terms of leadership is so important that we can parallel what we do as educators to what you do as an entertainer. And I know, Kane, I know you, again, got to leave us a little bit, but anybody got, something that they want to say to Kane or ask him why we got him now? I mean, listen, we ain't never promised tomorrow. We ain't never promised tomorrow. And again, I think a dude like Kane deserves his roses now. And we appreciate you, brother. We thank you so much for everything that you do. So everybody, again, take an opportunity. Here's your chance. Let's holler at Kane real quick before he has to get out of here.
Well, I'm gonna go first, McKeezy, because
No doubt.
I have been a Big Daddy Kane fan for the longest.
And it's just so amazing how music just brings back just the best memories. And thank you. It's great to meet you. I just love hip hop. I'm a hip hop baby. I'm a hip hop head from Harlem. I just love it.
Well, I dig what you're saying, but let me throw something right back at you about how education played a part in my career. Like, I remember, like, as the story I was telling earlier about social studies and not wanting to, be in American history or global studies. I was fine with government. I was fine with Black history, but I didn't want to take American history. I didn't want to take global studies because I felt that was stuff that wasn't going to help me in my future. And then Beach Street came out. And when I heard Melly Mel, say DACA outreach, Hiroshima, Vietnam, Leningrad, Iwo Jima, I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And I felt like I'd never be a great MC if I don't know what he was talking about. And that made me, those lines made me want to take American history and global studies,
Before you get out of here, Kane, I want everybody to just, to salute Kane with a round of applause. Thank you, Kane, for coming through. Kane, thank you. And again, I do this every Thursday. I extend an opportunity for you, brother. Thank you so much, Kane.
Peace love, y'all.
But there's 5 things I want us to really consider when we think about reinventing ourselves. So there's 5 steps for leaders to contemplate in the process of reinvention, right? So again, you got to learn to identify your weakness. One of the most important elements of emotional intelligence is about being able to acknowledge when it is that you're weak at something. Whatever it is, if it's social media, if it's communication, if it's data, if it's instruction, whatever it has to be, we got to learn to identify those things. And after we identify it, we have to address them. Next, become a leader of leaders. If you're the one carrying this heavy load by yourselves, or even just you and a couple of your APs, if it's just you all carrying this heavy load, you're not going to last. So we got to find out a way to replicate our leadership through other people, other staff members as quickly as possible. Remember, you're only human. You can't do what you can't do. And you got to accept the fact that there's some things that's not humanly possible. As much as we may want to reach out to every one of our staff members every day to tell them how much we love them, how much we care for them, it's physically not possible. So again, keep in mind that you're only human. Keep learning. If we ain't learning about remote learning right now, or remote leading, if we're not learning more and more than we did before, then we're falling behind. And lastly, embrace the change. It's funny, when we take over our schools when we usually take over our schools, we change everything, or we change as much as we can. But what ends up happening is when we become a leader of a building long enough, the one thing we don't do is change the things that we put in place. So what we got to think about is what's working and what's not working. Because right now, if you're using the same mission statements you did in the beginning of the year, then we're behind. If you're using the same vision statement, we're behind. If we're observing teachers the same way, we're falling behind. We have to embrace this change and understand that technology is the way to go now. And as much as many of us don't like it, most of us don't want no parts of it, we ain't got no choice at this point, y'all. So these are the 5 things I want you all to keep very much in the forefront of your mind when it comes to reinvention, because it's no more about, we're not talking about evolution anymore. We ain't evolving anymore. It's complete reinvention of yourselves. All right. So I just wanted to, just throw those things out there. And Amadeus, again, you've been, I know how life is changed for you. But again, to see you hit the gram as much as you do every day, pour into people's lives all day, I'm saying it's important that I allow you to have the last few words so that, we can walk out of here uplifted as well. I'm saying it's highs and lows, peaks and valleys when it comes to this work. And anything that I can do or anything that I could say to uplift the people in this room, I will. But then there's sometimes you just got to defer that to somebody else. And you've been amazing with it.
Right. I think one of the things that's blessing me here the most in this moment is to have you and Ant on here, and just because y'all know what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a dope moment that I feel inside. It's making me emotional, and I'm always be transparent and keep it a buck, and I feel that's the way to really be a blessing to people. But they know what I've been through. Like, they saw what I saw. They know my story. They know my entire journey in the last, I would say, 15 years or even longer. So to be where I'm at today is a real blessing, and I don't take it lightly. I take it so serious of what I do. And how I be a blessing to others. And, I'm far from perfect. I was just sharing today on an interview that I had, someone was interviewing me and they was like, if you could name one thing that you found out about yourself during this time, what was it? And it was a challenging moment, and it was tough to talk about, but I did. And I just want to share that with y'all. And I've learned a lot about fear. I learned a lot about fear and anxiety. And I know people that would share with me that they suffered from it. And I never really understood it until now, where 3 weeks ago, because of me allowing so much to enter into my mind, into my spirit of what was going on with this virus, I was feeling like I had it and ain't been nowhere. From the tightness of the chest to I wasn't no fevers or no coughing, none. But if I did cough over something, I was like, do I got it? Like, it was like everything that happened, I kept being in fear of, and creating in my mind, like, yo, maybe I have it, maybe I have it, maybe I have it. And I just had a moment where I just really prayed, and I prayed as hard as I could, and I just relaxed. And I just allowed my spirit and myself to be. And the following week, whatever I had created in my mind just vanished. And that was a moment for me where I realized, when people say they have anxiety and issues and stress, and, I've got to feel what that feels like when you allow your mind to overtake you. And it was just a real defining moment for me. And I'm sharing that with you guys just to show you, it doesn't matter what you see in the background, plaques on the wall, records out, hundreds and hundreds of followers and colleagues of mine being entertainers and celebs. Man, we all go through it. We all go through it. We all suffer. We all deal with pain. We all deal with loss, from a financial point to not feeling it and being in the zone creatively, to, doubting yourself and not believing you're as good as someone else, or, just losing faith in general in regards to who you are. And I'm gonna say this straight up, and you guys are all adults, but it comes a time in life where you gotta have a I'm the shit moment. And that's kind of where I'm at. And what that means is, instead of allowing someone to pat you on your back, instead of allowing someone to give you accolades and to acknowledge your greatness and what you've done, you gotta look yourself in the mirror, man, and you gotta have a moment where you tell yourself, and I mean that in the most positive way. And this is how it came out. And that's how I felt to say it when I deliver it. And I'm just, being 100 with y'all and saying it. You can't wait for somebody to celebrate you. You can't wait for somebody to tell you you were great and you've done great after school and you've made so much progress and you've been a blessing to the community. You got to stand in the mirror and say, you see what you did.
Before we go, first of all, before we leave, I wanted to say God bless all of y'all. Thank y'all. Please be safe. I say, woe be any mayor of any city or town or borough that will front on any of the principles in this room, because the coalition is real powerful. And I know that if it ever goes down, everybody's coming to support. And of course, I want to end this with my brother, Big Daddy Kane.
Oh, man.
Love y'all. Salute.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Drop some smooth lyrics. It's 88. Time to set it straight, you know what I'm saying?